Or is this for you guys to be a double check
Sure.
on that they're sequential and there's not checks missing?
Gotcha. Well, howdy. How are you doing? Thank you. Yep, you should not come in.
What's that?
The sheriff might come in. Said she was too sick. How you doing, home?
Good, you?
Good. How's it going, Bill? Hey, Bill.
This is pretty awful, Kristen.
What's that?
You being here tonight and then you turn around and have them be there tomorrow.
I know. I'm not even ready for tomorrow yet. I might have to go to work when I'm done here. No, I
But
just,
then they get
she's
everybody
a
there
judge,
at 6:30, doesn't it?
yeah, I know. I sent out one reminder text
I know, I saw
today.
that.
Oh, she wants
So,
to
yeah,
go.
but,
The back door was
yeah,
good.
no, I just was gone part of Friday
Yeah,
and
very much.
just with the holidays, I've been gone a lot, and so
Offices
my
are
clients
up
just
much.
aren't
I
done.
didn't
I
get
have to work a couple hours tonight.
I
but
told you it was from Julia.
That's a major. That's the way it goes.
I'm Josh.
On this right here. On this right here. We're moving Bridget, we're gonna be moving to Fromberg in the spring. But we do go through Joliet. When we both go, Bear Creek Hill's not passable. At least going through Joliet is at least better.
Yeah.
I heard last Wednesday, no roads were very good going anywhere.
No, it's tough.
Were they much better on Thursday?
Not really.
Cause I know right out there between Joliet and Roberts, it should have something Ferris or there.
There's stuff up there. Tonight, the fox had formed up and then just rolled across. So there's spots in the shade there. It's dicey.
So we can go back over there and
Must be able to get a copy. Probably.
So it's okay, that's my, hold on.
Can I steal it? If you want copies? There.
Mm-hmm.
Got an extra if you need one.
Yeah.
Great.
Or do I have an?
I've got an extra pen. if
Oh,
you need one.
sweet, yeah.
I do too.
Scramble.
Just use that. No. Scared of it. That's fine. Go ahead and use that green.
Chicago's having second class. We'll never see it.
Taking the Eagles, okay.
No, taking the Eagles over the
Oh,
Vikings.
yeah, exactly.
Good evening. Good, how are you tonight?
Eagles playing that game in a little while. The first half.
Brutal.
Oh, terrible.
How are you tonight?
I'm sure.
You said you, I can set the chair. Call the meeting to order. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Amen. Okay. First order of business, I guess, will be, Shirley's not gonna be here tonight, she is ill. So I'm gonna conduct the meeting. First thing we got is Cardin County Sheriff's report. How you doing, Josh?
You get to go first.
You get to go first.
All right, there's a game on tonight.
That's it. You'll have to send back a report, haven't you?
Yeah, that's your status report. Actually, December was a fairly busy month. Yes. So there's, we had a theft of some prescription pills from a residence. We've had 2 domestics in which people went to jail over. Which is not uncommon, I guess, around the holidays, but here in town. We've dealt with some dog issues. We've had some issues where CPS has been involved. We've had to work with them, stuff here through the school in town. I don't know all the details on it, but there was some contact going on and a reckless driving ticket was issued here in town, which is pretty significant. And about 3:30 or about 12:30 on Sunday morning on the 16th, the deputies were patrolling and found some lady crawling around that was intoxicated trying to get home, so they found her and got her home. So, but they're here, that's the point. Go coming through town at all hours. Couple stops. They had a verbal dispute which was called in as a domestic that wasn't, but they separated them for the night. Had a traffic complaint here in town, and I think the citation was issued at a later time based on that. And again, on the second domestic, the typical threats and harassment, and dogs again. So one of them was there's 3 loose dogs running around, and when the deputy got over here, they couldn't find them. They were dead. So, and I've talked to Jan a little bit, the people that are coming in here, we just gotta stress enough that instead of calling City Hall, call the dispatch. I mean, that's really what I told her was, just place that phone call. We talk about it every meeting. We might be real close by too, so.
Yeah, 'cause usually got somebody on this side of the hill that can get here pretty quick, so.
It could be right here too, so, or it might be a while before they get here, so.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, to have 2 domestics where they actually went to jail, within about a 2-week period is kind of especially in town. We deal with it in the county all the time, but,
Yeah.
so.
And like you say, with the holidays and stuff, it's kind of,
It's hard to say. I'm not even sure one of them were residents here in town. I think it might have been a passing through. This way they ended up stopping that type deal. And actually, the Highway Patrol wrote a DUI here, but you guys won't, the city won't deal with that because that'll go through justice court, in which our deputies helped. So anything Highway Patrol related goes through justice court. They're not sworn into city courts. So there's quite a few tickets written out of that deal. Some drugs, so. Yeah,
well, kind of overall, I guess you've been doing this now for what, the last 6 months or so?
it all runs together.
I'm just wondering kind of how your feel is as far as the town, you know, overall for
I
the.
think on our end, we seem to think that it's working. I know we're always trying to make it better and would like to be here more and more, but as everybody knows, it's busy. And so, you know, we'll try to stop in at the basketball games up here too. I mean, some people were asking me about that. Joliet, we have a deputy at Joliet because they pay us to have so many hours a week there, and that's how he gets some of his hours, is being at the games, and they request that, so, you know, if the superintendent wants that, you know, we can, maybe not the whole game, but stop in and check things out, you know, especially if they got one where they think they might have a lot of people or something. I don't know, people I talked to seem to be okay with it. I mean, we talked about initially, you know, just trying to be here and be present. And I think the different times, especially when the deputies found this lady on the ground, you know, that
Could have died.
Yeah,
very, very easily, so. They're here at all times, I think, is the key, in and out, so.
Josh, is there anything that we can do to help you guys out? Other than that phone number?
Yeah, I think the phone number, and we talked about maybe just even getting a sign up, you know, even if we put it on the door there. I know it's add one more thing to that door, but, you know, we've just gotta push that number, because we get people not calling us because they don't think they should call the Red Lodge number, but that is the number. It doesn't matter where you're at, anywhere in the county, that's the number you call.
Is that something we can get on the door, Jan?
Yep, we can do that, and we have to have a website, so we can make sure that that is on there too, you know, for contact is the
Yeah.
sheriff's department.
Is there room to put it on a water bill too?
Yep, we can do that too.
Water.
go ahead.
Your biggest problem, and this is what I complained about before, is that red neighborhood watch deal that's posted in the post office that still has Ralph Dawson's phone number on it, has never been taken down. And it says, you know, and it gives the Fromberg number to call.
Yeah.
That needs to come down off the window.
Do we gotta
In the
break the
post
glass to
office.
get it out of there, or what?
No, you just ask Tammy Lynn, she'll open it and take it down, but I mean, it's city, the city put it up and the city has never taken it down.
Yeah.
It's their deal to take it down and make a notice that's noticeable.
Let's
you
make
know.
sure we get that out of there.
One more thing, and I think, I don't know if we'll change it or not, but there was an ordinance violation that we've been talking about for some time. That I think has been cited but it's not till court till February.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, so I know some people may think we're not dealing with that, but it has been dealt with, and the next step is come to court.
Which one is that?
On Lovers or 3rd Street.
Oh, I thought maybe U-turn or something down here.
What's that?
Or making U-turn down by the bar.
Oh, no, this is an actual,
Oh.
the junk, the littering ordinance, and we talk about it all the time, but there are things being done with it, and
It's a process.
it's a process,
Yeah.
so it's February sometimes the court date, so.
And I had noticed that spot's getting a little bit better, but I don't know how much, you know.
Yeah, well, we got in trouble because we were too patient, trying to work with people.
Yeah.
Now we took the next step, and the next step will be with the court, and they can handle it from there.
Let the court take care of
That's what they're for, so.
it. Okay, well, good.
I don't know, is there anything else you guys got? See different or better, or?
No, personally, I think you're doing a very good job. I appreciate you guys coming through at all hours of the day and night, because you never know.
Never know.
You never know when you're gonna be out here watching me run that speed stop sign.
So this was actually only until the 27th of December, and I know since then, they've actually sat over here writing some more tickets. Last Wednesday or Thursday, they were actually here in Belfry. I know there's tickets written, so.
Well, we appreciate all you guys do.
Thank you guys. So, push the number, I'll work with her, I'll stop in tomorrow or Wednesday and get a sign up.
Okay.
Just-
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing I
We'll
think.
get that other one out of the post office.
Yeah. I'm sure Ralph's tired of hearing calls.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
Got that. Minutes.
We have a motion on this.
I'll make a motion to accept Josh's report.
I'll second it.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Approval of the minutes.
A motion, we accept the minutes as written.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes as written. All in favor?
Aye.
No negatives, okay. Approve the bills for November and December. And I noticed that they've kind of changed that a little bit.
You have, in your packets, you do have your vendors list and the amount that they will pay, the amount of the checks. You also have your claims approval list, and it tells you exactly which funds they came out of and all the vendors that were paid. So it tells you if there's a double check there so that you know exactly. It's a more of a streamlined version, so you just have your vendor list and then you have your account list of where everything came out of and the totals of what it would cost for all the checks written.
Do we have any questions on the bills or?
Simple.
Do you want to explain the check numbers?
And the check, we have a new system where we have the check numbers, so they're in sequence. If you have any questions, they'll tell you where they're at, if they're out of sequence. This will do payroll 2 times a month where they're out of sequence. The checks won't be in there as in sequence as in your claims and stuff. So it'll tell you how many checks we used, where they came, what checking accounts they came from. Pretty much, if a bill was not approved, there's a spot for that. I'll tell you it came out of the regular checking account, it came out of the wastewater account, and things like that. And the ones that you don't see, and then the payroll ones that you don't see, a list of them, and what the check numbers are there.
This is much easier to comprehend than a file.
Yes,
Paper.
and that's what that is why we're just trying to streamline it, so that if you don't like it, let me know, we can get more information if you want something more than what you have. But basically, it's better than signing 20 little pieces of paper.
I agree.
So that just tells you
I like it.
exactly everything.
Yeah, I like it. It's a lot easier to follow.
Kind of like it shows what it wants.
Right.
So I will keep doing that if everybody agrees that's all right.
Yeah. Do we have a motion?
A motion, we accept the minutes as presented, or the bills as presented.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Audrey, ordinances revision.
So we have 3 done, 3 in the draft process right now. I'm waiting on getting some confirmation. We've got 2 contracts for service right now for the city that I'm still waiting to find. I need to find the contract for service for the EMS and the contract for service for the fire department. Those need to go in the ordinances under public health and safety, like where we have the police section. Until I get those two are on hold because we can't, we have to basically specify where those services are coming from. So EMS is obviously provided by Clark's Fork. I just haven't gotten a hold of Roger to get that specifics lined out yet, but the fire department portion is kind of interesting. I talked to one of the firefighters. They said there's a contract for service with the city, but nobody can find said contract yet, so I'll be going to Red Lodge to see if somebody down there's got it. If not, we're gonna have to find it or write a new one, because that's gonna have to be specified who's gonna provide those services going forward to be able to put that in the ordinances. We're starting to hold hearings on zoning and pets starting this Wednesday. What we're gonna do is we're gonna get all the ordinances done. We'll hold them until after the legislative session, till transmittal, to find out if there are gonna be any major changes, especially in regards to zoning. There's 2 or 3 bills right now that could really affect what happens. It affects local government specifically as to what's gonna be allowed to be changed or not changed in small municipalities specifically, in regards to mobile homes. So there's an actual bill in the legislature right now for that. I just looked at that tonight. So that will be a big deal here, depending on how that all shakes out.
Yeah.
What the draft bill says right now is that anything past 1955, if there's a fire, no one's responsible for it. They can't even go in because of asbestos and safety for the firefighters. So that may be an issue in some of our places. The other thing is that those trailers may need to be removed or condemned, so that could cause a whole set of issues for Ms. Freeman going forward on how that all plays out. And then after they're removed, it would be, they have to be a certain year. 1992 is the target right now, but I'm sure that'll change. The legislature just started today, so that could change to heaven knows what, or they might kill it. So there's 2 big things there with zoning that's gonna affect us. The other thing we're finding out with ordinances is that city ordinances can be tighter than state and county, but the problem is that if there's a complaint and once it's appealed to district court has to abide by state law, is what I was told by them in Red Lodge. So basically, in other words, if we have a tighter ordinance and they say, no, I don't like what our local judge says, and they appeal it to district court, it's gonna be a state law, not what we have.
That
So
makes sense.
it's gonna be up to judge's discretion. So that might be something going forward, is do we just adopt what the state says and kind of cut out that process, or do we wanna tighten it up? That's gonna be up to the discretion of the council and the city attorney, what they wanna do.
Wouldn't do us any good to change it locally.
That would be, I mean,
It's
hope
gonna be
what's,
overridden.
If you can find specific reasons why it should apply in the town, you can be more specific.
right. When I talked to Judge Nichols' office, they said basically the issue is that they can't enforce the city ordinance, is what he told me. So I mean, you're the one that has to enforce it, so, I mean, that's,
Okay.
Enough justification.
You have to have justification for a more specific ordinance or a more specific requirement. And it just depends on the town. If there's a specific problem that's occurring in the town that the state law doesn't address, you can be more specific and have a higher requirement. Okay?
right.
It depends on which law you're enforcing to, or which, part of the
Section.
law. Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be up to the discretion of the review when we do them, so that's where we're at with that. We donated $350 of school supplies at the first of the year to the school, trying to build that rapport and relationship. So they got pencils, binders, and a huge pile of notebook paper to start the kids off of the school year, so.
Good.
Going forward, the next month, we want to finish up the ordinances and we just have them drafted, so Hope can review them at her availability, and then also work on, specifically on the zoning of the pets. I think the pets are gonna be pretty easy to do. Zoning is gonna be a really, really difficult one, just because of where we're at. Also, right now, trying to organize a legislative day where we can take the council and anybody else in the community who wants to go up to the legislature and meet your legislators, kind of see how that process works and how it affects what you gentlemen and ladies do behind that desk. Also working with Montana Leagues of Cities and Communities, what they can do to help us, help them. So those are 2 things we've got on the agenda.
Okay, also, I agree, did you kind of give a report on our Christmas thing that we had?
Yeah, absolutely. We had our first annual Fromberg Christmas stroll, and it was, we had about 50 people that came in and visited. We had 8 kids who got to visit with Santa. It was really well received, and it was nice, and thank you to everybody who came out. Next year, we're hoping to tie it in with the school during their Christmas concert and kind of tie it in with some other things that we can do here in the community. So it was a great first-year experience. I appreciate everybody's help that turned out, but we'll see what we can do next year to make it bigger and better. It's just a great way to kind of end the year and kind of build some community and take a load off, so.
I'm good. Thank you.
Mhm.
You guys got any questions? So, about the ordinances and stuff, are we looking possibly at going beyond the 1st of February?
Yeah,
Working on
we're
this?
we're not gonna meet, I believe we can have them completely done and drafted within 4 to 5 months. Being able to have them approved is gonna fall within the council and hope on whether or not how they're approved, obviously. We're also gonna have to see what happens in the legislature and how much of that's gonna change what happens coming down. We can have them done, we can have an initial draft done within 5 months. The issue is that we're running into is some of that stuff is so old, the rules don't even apply. I mean, we have an ordinance right now that, about rotary telephones and things like that, so. I mean, we're talking about phone lines and, you know, things that are kind of completely out of date that we're digging through.
I don't think they existed anymore.
Constables and just verbiage, cleaning up a lot of the verbiage and kind of modernizing what that is. So we've got, there's some things that are gonna need to be cleaned up, but we've gotta make sure we clean them up within. Verbiage has to be changed, we have to make sure we can clean them up, but still yet, keep them where they're at. We don't do massive changes. And then being able to allow public comment in that period too. It is state law, we have to hold hearings for zoning, and we have to publish that, so we're working on that. I'm working with the mountain.
Okay, that's a time process, I mean, you
Yes.
have to post it and then within a certain period of time you have to have
Yep.
it.
Yep.
Okay.
And what I'm doing for comment on zoning, because of just how stringent it is that we'll have hearings, but I'm also asking people to put their names, phone numbers, and write out at least an idea of what their comments are. That way, if there's ever a question about my comment wasn't heard or you didn't hear it, we've got a record that we have something there.
Yeah.
Just because it's kind of a CYA for us. Because I don't want anybody to not think they're being heard or that can't make it to a meeting. That's why we have written comment as well. So we just want to make sure it's as open and transparent as possible.
Okay.
The website, we still don't have access to change that yet. So we've got to figure something out there, but all of the current ordinances are posted on that website. The changes are not posted, but the current ordinances as they sit are on there.
Okay, I believe that they did some work on the website the other day, is that correct, Jan?
Well, we've got the new, email address and stuff like that, and Bert is working on some of the stuff on the website as we speak, and then we'll get me up to speed so we can get things
So
changed.
sometime within the next month, we should be up to speed.
Hopefully.
That way everybody can have access to it and use it, and
Yeah.
it'll be posted and,
Yeah, things will be posted and, hopefully the minutes will get posted, regularly after they've been officially approved and things like that.
okay.
And we will have the calendar so that it's updated to show that when the next, council meetings are and, when we have special meetings, that we put on the calendar so they can all take a look at their calendars.
Okay, good. Just as kind of a side note, I was in the office today and Jan drug out the 1912 original ordinances that she had. Kind of neat to look at. I mean,
She found them.
they were just very brittle little pages, but it was kind of neat to look at that. And there's actually some documentation, I didn't read it, but I think it probably tells how the town came about so that we could get started. For those interested in the history of the town, wow, it was pretty good. Good. Do we have anything else for Audrey?
You have to tell your boy thanks for being a reindeer at Christmas.
He had a great time. He wore that costume for about a week, and we delivered cookies to all sorts of people, and he had a great time. So yeah, this is thanks.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. There's a motion? Yes.
Point of clarification, you don't really have to have a motion and approve each report that comes in.
We don't? Okay. Guess we don't need a motion.
No. It's just a reporting procedure, you're not voting on it. You don't have to approve it, it doesn't have to be approved.
Okay. Okay. Well, the next one up is curb box specialties. Spencer.
Greetings everyone and Happy New Year. Let's go over some of the numbers, just a couple. The water usage, we pumped about 1.5 million gallons up to the tank in the month of December. That's down about 500,000 gallons, no, excuse me. That's down, no, not 500,000. That's down almost 100,000 gallons over November, 1.5 million. So December was our lowest month since I've been tracking this in April for the amount of gallons that we used. Our sewer meter is not working for the influent side running in, so I can't report that number. We dumped 224,000 gallons into the river. That was clean water, so no harm to any fish or anything. And my records indicated that about 1,400 gallons came through the flow station. People filled up about 1,400 gallons worth of water in their tank. So those are the numbers that I have. What happened in the last month? Well, day after Thanksgiving, we had a well go down. Jeremy contacted me and I came to town, and come to find out well number 1 went down. Excuse me. So the following week we had American Drilling come out and pull it and determined that it was the well that needed changing out. So sure they wanted to get a quote from me, or at least not to exceed, kind of on an emergency deal. So I quickly researched that and got her a quote of about $4,000, and then my quote came in under that. My bill came in under that. I really tried to tighten the belt and work with my suppliers for stuff. So because I told them that hey, it's Christmas, be nice. So we got that actually installed just this week, and come to find out Saturday night. I got a call from the pump house that there's a problem. Jeremy was gracious enough to get up at 1 o'clock in the morning and run over there and take a look at it. At first glance, we didn't see anything wrong, but then this morning we found out that well number 1 was not working. So Jeremy and I worked on that tonight, and as best as we can figure out, there is something wrong with the motor. We're not certain yet. American Drilling, we've got a call into them, and I think they're going to come out and take a look at it. When we pulled the well has 2 parts. One is the well, the blades, the fins, the actual shaft that spins, that pushes the water, and then the other one is the motor below that. We changed out the well part, and Jeremy had a motor in the shop that we believe was brand new, still in the crate, correct Jeremy? That you told me? Yeah. And so we thought, hey, it's a good time to change them both. Actually, American Drilling said the spline on the motor was kind of worn, and that they recommended that we get a new motor. Well, we had one in stock, so we put it in, and it lasted all of about 5 days. We don't know what the problem is exactly. For those technical people, there was 50 amps on the middle leg, and the other 2 legs had less than an amp pulling on it when the motor was running. So, I meant to call you actually. I could have called you and asked you. Yeah, sorry. It was tonight. It was late, So, anyway, so I think that's about it. I just got in the mail today. I don't know. Did you get this in the mail today too?